I was struggling with for some reason I had quite a lot of understeer and I couldn't really add much wing. So um, yeah.
Hey everyone, today we're talking about the problems Lewis Hamilton is facing in Formula One, and let me tell you, it's not looking easy for the seven-time champion. Mercedes is struggling badly in high-speed corners, and Hamilton doesn't even know what to do about the lack of downforce on the car. To make matters worse, there was even a strange incident in qualifying that cost the team a fine. But is there still hope? The team made changes to the car before the Austrian GP, and Hamilton is aiming for the podium. Stick with us because this is going to be good. And if you love F1 as much as we do, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Oh, and don't forget to leave a like to help the video reach more fans of the sport. Alright folks, let's start by talking about the speed difference between Mercedes and Red Bull, especially in the high-speed corners. And let me tell you, it's not looking good for Hamilton. He himself said the difference is insane. In qualifying for the Austrian GP, Verstappen in the Red Bull secured pole position with more than 0.4 of a second advantage over the second-place driver. Russell, Hamilton's teammate, came in third, more than half a second behind. And Hamilton, almost 0.6 slower than Verstappen. But the worst part is in the fast corners. Mercedes simply can't keep up with Red Bull. It's as if Red Bull really has wings, while Mercedes is dragging its wheels on the ground. Hamilton said the team has improved the car since the sprint, but still, in the high-speed corners, they're getting schooled. And the worst part is they don't know exactly how to solve this. Just imagine the frustration. A 7-time world champion used to leading the pack, now struggling not to fall behind in the corners. It's a complicated situation that's leaving everyone at Mercedes scratching their heads. And if you thought the problem with corner speed was bad, hold on to your hats because there's more. Hamilton is completely lost with the lack of downforce on the Mercedes car. For those who don't know, downforce is that force that sticks the car to the ground, allowing it to take corners faster. And Mercedes is seriously lacking in this department. Hamilton has openly said he doesn't know how to solve this problem. Just imagine, one of the best drivers in F1 history, with a team of top engineers, and they can't find a solution. It's enough to drive anyone crazy. He said the team needs to keep working to improve, but you can hear the frustration in his voice. Hamilton even said that winning a race this year seems quite distant, and it's no exaggeration. With this lack of downforce, the car simply can't take corners at the same speed as its rivals. It's as if Hamilton had to drive with the handbrake on in the corners, while others fly past. The situation is so complicated that Hamilton can't even say if they'll be able to solve this season. It's quite a blow for someone who was used to dominating the tracks, isn't it? And hey folks, are you enjoying the content? If you're loving this F1 analysis, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. Let's keep unraveling the mysteries of Mercedes. And just when we think it can't get any worse, Mercedes manages to outdo itself. A bizarre incident happened in qualifying for the Austrian GP that even earned the team a fine. Picture this. Hamilton was ready to go out for practice, the green light comes on, and the car leaves the garage, with a jack still attached to it. That's right, you heard it correctly. The jack, that equipment that lifts the car, was still stuck to Hamilton's car when he left, and it didn't stop there. Besides the jack, there was also an exhaust extractor hanging on. It looked like the car was heading out to a costume party, all decked out. Of course, the team realized the mistake immediately and told Hamilton to stop, but the damage was already done. The stewards didn't let it slide and summoned Mercedes for a meeting. The result? A €5,000 fine for unsafe release of the car. They even reviewed the videos and heard from Hamilton and a team representative. But there was no way around it, the fine stood. Can you imagine the atmosphere in the Mercedes garage after that? The team must have been feeling pretty low. And Hamilton? He must have thought, man, besides a slow car, now I have to worry about whether I'm taking the whole workshop with me to the track. Guys, I know what you're thinking. Wow, Hamilton's on a streak of bad luck, huh? But hold on, the game's not over yet. Despite all these troubles, Hamilton is still in the fight. And you know why? Because the guy is stubborn as hell and doesn't give up easily. Now, the question that won't go away. Can Mercedes turn things around? Does Hamilton still have an ace up his sleeve? Well, my friends, the situation is complicated, but we know that in F1, everything can change in an instant. And that's where things get interesting. Are you curious to know what Mercedes has prepared to try to save the season? Because I'm dying to tell you. Hold on tight, because now we're going to see what Hamilton and the team are doing to try to get out of this hole. And let me tell you, they're not messing around. All right, folks, now this is where it gets interesting. Mercedes isn't sitting on their hands, you know? Before qualifying for the Austrian GP, the team went all out and made some significant changes to Hamilton's car. I'm not talking about changing a little screw here and there. This was serious business. Hamilton himself said they shook up the car's setup. He's confident these changes will improve their race pace. But will it be enough? Hamilton qualified 5th, right behind his teammate Russell. That's already a small sign that the changes might have worked. But we know that qualifying is one thing, racing is something completely different. And get this. Hamilton said he needs to quickly pass Sainz's Ferrari if he wants a chance to fight for the podium. You can feel the adrenaline just thinking about it, can't you? But here comes the big question. Will these changes be enough to take on Red Bull? Verstappen is flying low, and Hamilton will need much more than luck to catch him. The tension is in the air, folks. Did Mercedes get it right this time? Or will Hamilton have to swallow another GP watching his rivals celebrate on the podium? All right, folks. We've seen the roller coaster that Hamilton and Mercedes are facing, but the show doesn't end here. Despite all the problems, the lack of speed in the corners, the disappearing downforce, and even the Jack that decided to go for a ride, Hamilton still has his eye on the podium. That's right, he hasn't given up. The changes to the car could be the trump card Mercedes needed. Hamilton is confident, and we know that when he sets his mind to something, it's hard to stop him. But let's be honest, the battle will be tough. Verstappen is flying with Red Bull, and there's a bunch of drivers wanting the same thing as Hamilton. What can we expect? Breathtaking overtakes, crazy pit stop strategies, and who knows, maybe even a surprise at the end of the race. So, do you think Hamilton will make it to the podium? Will Mercedes finally get the car right, or will Red Bull continue to reign supreme? One thing's for sure, this GP promises to be a nail-biter. Don't blink, folks, because every lap could change everything. And remember, in F1, never ever take the result for granted before the checkered flag. Hamilton may be having problems now, but he's already proven he knows how to turn the game around. Stay tuned because this championship still has a lot of story to tell. And who knows, we might see Hamilton back on top sooner than everyone thinks.